Do you want more out of life? Do you sometimes feel that the day is running you rather than the other way around? Do you feel that you're sitting in the passenger seat most of the time and your boss is in the driver's seat, or your bank is in the driver's seat? Well, if you have any of those feelings at any time, you're at the right video, because on this video, I want to share with you the one habit that dramatically changed my life, and that is the habit of a morning routine. G'day, my name's Willem, and on this channel I share the wisdom and the philosophies that Mr. Jim Rohn shared with me many years ago. Mr. Rohn said that if you want more, you must become more. By applying Mr. Rohn's philosophies in both my business and personal life, I've been able to live a life on my terms, and I truly wish the same for you. So in this video, I'm going to cover the science-backed benefits of having a morning routine. I'm going to show you how you can start your own routine and how I started mine. And if you stay till the very end, I will give you a bonus tip which will help you overcome the biggest part of starting a morning routine. And we all know what that is, and that's getting out of bed. Hang around for this bonus tip because it literally changed my approach to every morning. So that's right at the end of this video. Mr. Rohn said, failure is the inevitable result of an accumulation of poor thinking and poor choices. To put it simply, failure is nothing more than a few errors in judgment repeated every day, whereas success is the opposite. It's the result of a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And those simple disciplines have to start from the moment you wake up. And that's why a morning routine is so important. But what are the benefits of actually getting up early rather than staying in bed, slamming on the snooze button and trying to get another 10 minutes of sleep? Why would I encourage you to have a morning routine? So let me take you through 5 benefits of getting up early every morning. Benefit 1, the way you start your morning is the way you spend the rest of your day. If you start early with a morning routine, the rest of the day simply seems to flow out in front of you. If you're starting the morning with a panic, you're pushing the alarm button, you're pushing the snooze button, you're going, oh hell, I'm running late for work, that's what the rest of the day will look like. You really want to get ahead of the game. You want to get that break on the rest of the day, and you do that with a morning routine. So the first benefit is this: if you start your morning well, the rest of the day will usually go well as well. Here's benefit 2. You really do get a sense that you are in control. I asked you before at the very beginning of this video, do you feel like you're running the day or is the day running you? I promise you, if you get up early at the time you allocate and you do it repeatedly, day in, day out, you will feel in control of your life. You will no longer feel like you're in the passenger seat. You will well and truly be in the driver's seat. So here's benefit number 3. It certainly does reduce the stress levels in your life. If you're getting up early and you're starting in a great way and you know the rest of the day is going to go well, you have a sense of being in control, it's very hard to get stressed about anything. I think Marcus Aurelius, one of my favorite philosophers, put it really well when he said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. I just love that statement. Now, if you wake up in the morning and you have that philosophy, you are not going to get stressed. So there's benefit number 3. It will reduce the stress levels in your life. Let's go to benefit 4. Benefit 4 is it will actually improve the healthy habits in your life. When I get up, the rest of the world is still asleep. It's quiet. I normally have around 1 liter of water to drink because you dehydrate overnight. And often in the mornings, if Jen wants to come with me, I'll go for a brisk walk. If I don't do it in the morning, I'll do it later in the day. But those 2 things alone have really improved my lifestyle. And for a person now in their 60s, I know I'm in the top percentile aerobically for men my age. And I put a lot of that down to my morning routine. So that's benefit number 4. It really will improve your healthy habits. And the last benefit, benefit number 5, is that it improves your confidence. If you're doing the disciplined things, if you're getting up early you're doing the things you promise yourself you will do, it really does improve your self-esteem. You get confident, you feel positive that you can deal with whatever comes along. So there's the last benefit. It really will improve your confidence and increase your self-esteem. Okay, so hopefully by now I've convinced you that a morning routine is something you should have. Now, the reality is we already all have a morning routine. When we get up in the morning, most of what we do is habit. Unfortunately, a lot of people get up and the first thing they'll do is switch on their phones and read the headlines and get thoroughly depressed about the state of the world. Either that or they turn on CNN or the breakfast shows on TV. Now, starting your morning that way with a "if it bleeds, it leads" philosophy may be great for the media, but it really does put you in a terrible frame of mind for the rest of the day. How can you possibly be motivated? How can you possibly want to take the world on if all you're thinking about is, will Putin press the button? Will North Korea launch another nuclear missile? It's not a great way to start the day. So I would encourage you to not do that. I would encourage you to not turn on the media, not turn on your phone first thing, and actually develop a morning routine. So what does a morning routine look like? Well, that depends very much on your goals. As I always like to say, start with the end in mind. And all our goals are different. So if you're wanting to lose weight or get fitter, then obviously your morning routine will be heavily leaning towards aerobic activity or developing muscle mass. If you wanted to reduce stress, if you wanted to relax more, you may have yoga or meditation as a heavy component of it. If you're wanting to improve your sales ability or your ability in whatever you do for work, then it may include spending quite a bit of time on a course or learning a new skill. So it really depends on where your focus needs to be. However, there are some key components that I believe should be in everybody's morning routine. I started my morning routine after I read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and it's a great little book. Now, Hal's morning routine is based on the SAVERS, which is an acronym for silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And what he means by scribing is writing or journaling. So the SAVERS really introduced me to my morning routine, and I tried them. I tried all of them. However, that was quite a few years ago. I found that some of them worked for me and some of them didn't. So I don't think there's any fixed rule. You need to really play with this yourself, find out what works for you and keep those. And the things that you find really don't resonate, well, just drop those off. There's no fixed rule as to the way you need to approach your morning routine. But the SAVERS is a great template to start with, and then you can sort of design it and make it work to your own lifestyle. So when I first started, I tried to meditate, and unfortunately, it just doesn't work for me. I know there are real benefits to meditation, and I'm certainly not going to count it. I really admire and I'm almost jealous of people that can meditate and meditate well. I just find it doesn't work for me. I find it hard to sit still and have those thoughts stop going through your head. But Hal recommends meditation, and if that works for you, then by all means, go for it. I just don't include it in my own morning routine. Repeating things to yourself or trying to program your mind to a way of thinking, that might work for you. Repeating that over and over to yourself and making yourself believe that you want to achieve a certain thing.
I will sell this house today.
Great. If that works for you, keep doing it. I just find I keep telling myself now, come on, Will, who the hell are you fooling? I always remember Mr. Rohn saying that he had no problems with affirmations, provided you affirmed the truth. And if you were broke, he said it is best to affirm, I am broke. So sometimes it's probably best to use affirmations in that way. But again, I'm not going to make a judgment call on this. If affirmations work for you, then by all means keep doing it. Now the V in SAVERS is for visualization, and I do tend to practice visualization. I think most things in life are created twice. They're created once in your imagination and then in reality. It's a bit like building a house. You've got to actually design it, you've got to draw it up before you ever lay the foundations. So visualization is something I do use, not so much in my morning routine, but probably more through the day. The E in Savers is for exercise, and I fully endorse that one. I think it is really healthy for everyone to spend at least half an hour. I spend an hour on my exercise each and every day. It's part of my closing the rings routine on my Apple Watch. So yes, exercise I think is critical, and everybody should do at least 30 minutes of exercise every day. R is for reading, and again, I fully endorse that one. Jim Rohn always said, you've got to read all the books, and the books that you don't read aren't going to help you. Charlie Tremendous Jones said, 5 years from now, you will be the same person you are today, apart from the people you meet and the books you read. So there's a heavy endorsement for reading. Just make it part of your morning routine. Now, the second S in Savers is for scribing or writing, journaling, and I again endorse this one. I do this every morning, 7 days a week. I usually watch Darren Hardy's Darren Daily. It comes through on the email, and that tends to prompt me to come up with a topic or a subject to write about. I write that in my journal. I also post it on my Facebook page. So it's a habit that I started with my morning routine, and I've managed to keep it going. I think I'm over 800 days in a row now where I've actually posted in my journal. So it's a habit that is ingrained in my morning routine. So of Hal Elrod's 6 savers, which are silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading and scribing, I certainly do the last 3 as part of my morning routine every day. But then there's a couple of other things that I do that aren't included in Hell, and I thought I would share those with you. The first one is what Mr. Rohn impressed upon me. He said, don't start the day till it's finished. And so the very first thing I do in the morning is I actually go through the day hour by hour. What is it that I'm planning to do for that day? And where have I allocated time for the things that are most important in my life? The big rocks. I need to see that those are in my day somewhere. If you ever find people miss appointments, or they give you a phone call and they say, oh, look, I'm sorry, I'm running late, I forgot all about it. That's because they didn't start the day before it's finished. And it can be embarrassing, it's stressful because you never feel you're in control. So one of the things I include in my morning routine is going through the day and finishing it on paper before I actually start it. The second thing that I include in my morning routine is writing in my gratitude journal. So I essentially have 2 journals. They're both electronic. One is my day 1 journal. The other one is a gratitude journal. And I write in there each morning 3 things for which I'm grateful. I always remember Mr. Rohn saying, be grateful for what you have while you pursue what you want. And writing down 3 things for which you're grateful for every morning is just a great way to start the day. It puts you in a really good frame of mind. So the first thing I write in my gratitude journal is 3 things for which I'm grateful. The next thing I put in there is what will make it a great day. What will I do today so that when I come to the end of it, I will look back and go, that was something I achieved, that made the day worthwhile. So that's the second thing I put in. Now, once I've done that, I take a screenshot of it and I SMS it to my accountability partner, Casey, over in the States. And she also sends me her gratitude journal each morning. Again, it's a great way to get into the habit of doing it, because if you're just doing it on your own, it's always hard to make excuses and not do it. So Casey keeps me accountable for writing in my gratitude journal every morning, and I keep her accountable. Now, the last thing I do is exercise for my brain. Yes, it's important to be physically active and do your exercise for your physical body, but I also believe it's important to keep your brain active and alert. I see a lot of old people with dementia, and it's a real curse as you get older. One of the things that they have proven helps with dementia is to keep your brain active and keep it learning. So I spend some time on an app called Elevate each morning. and it basically hones your math skills, your reading, your writing skills, your memory skills, and it's a great little app to just exercise your brain for 10-15 minutes each morning. I just find that often as we get older, we tend to get lazier, we don't think as much, and I just think it's really important to keep that grey matter really top condition and tuned up. So that's the last thing I do as part of my morning routine. Hal Elrod has his morning routine, which is Savers. My morning routine is GREASE. It stands for gratitude, reading, exercise, accountability, scribing, or again journaling, and E is for elevate. So that's my morning routine. Hopefully you'll find that useful. As I said, design your own. Everybody's different, and what's important to me may not be necessarily that important to you. However, I certainly would encourage you to write down 3 things for which you're grateful each morning, whether that's on a piece of paper or in a diary or in a journal, an electronic journal. But I find by actually stopping and thinking each morning 3 things for which you're grateful really tends to get you off to a great day. Now, I did promise you a bonus tip at the beginning of this. Before I show you the bonus tip though, if you like this video, could you press the like button and consider subscribing? Okay, let's go to that bonus tip that I promised you. The hardest thing every morning, no matter what, is to actually get out of bed. I'm the first to admit it. I used to be very much a night person, had real trouble getting up early. But when I read Hal Elrod's book, and I was convinced that a morning routine was just part and parcel of having a great day, I decided I had to change. But I had difficulty in getting out of bed. And there's different things people suggest about getting out of bed, and they may work for you. I hate alarm clocks. I hate waking up with a fright. I don't think that's a great idea. So I don't know where I learned about it, but someone put me onto this. Now, this is a Philips moon clock, or some people call it a sunrise clock. What it does, it mimics the rising of the sun. And so you tend to wake up very naturally to your body's natural biorhythms. Now, I don't know who put me onto this, but I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because this really changed my morning routine. And the great thing is it doesn't make an alarm. You can actually leave the alarm off if you want. It just wakes you through the light. And that way I tended to get up early, because I tend to get up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 each morning. And Jen likes to sleep in a bit later till about 6. So I don't wake her up when I wake up. Now, these days, I don't need this anymore because I just naturally wake up. My body's acclimatized to the new time. If you're thinking of starting a morning routine and getting up a little bit earlier, I can really highly recommend getting one of these, because they really will get you off to a great start without you feeling grumpy that the alarm clock's gone off. Okay, that's it for this video. I look forward to seeing you next time.